I sold the house on Christmas Day. I worked on New Year's Day. You just got stuck in.
For the first year, you're probably not going to see money in your bank. You've got to stick it out and you've got to build your relationships and do all the grunt work.
At the end of the day, if you're not stocking your shelves, why should anyone come and shop with you? So
you can do all the posts you like, but if nothing's coming from it, you got to get stuck in, and you got to unfortunately pick up that phone and be that guy.
Craig and Chad, thank you so much for joining us today for an episode of Real Talk SA. We're very, very happy to have you here. So thank you for taking the time to come and join us. I just want for our audience and the listeners for you guys to tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you do. We can start with you, Craig.
Oh, thank you.
Age before beauty and all that.
Oh, yeah. It's, 36 years now that I've been doing this. Started by default. And just never got out. All in the same area. So literally I've moved probably about 8 times, all on the Bluff. And it's just the suburbs in you, eh?
Awesome.
And it's been good. Been a good journey.
Great. And Chad?
Yeah, born and raised on the Bluff, obviously. For those that don't know, I am his son, not his brother. And I've been in real estate now 15 years.
Our mom's going to be upset.
And just embedded in the community. I've been doing real estate for 15 years. My wife's had a nail salon on the Bluff for the last 10 years, and both very community orientated. So that's where our life is.
Awesome. Yeah. And what made you guys get into real estate in the beginning? Like, what was it that drew you to get into that kind of industry?
I think it's easier for him. For me, it was pure default. I was too young, like 24 when I got in. Out of school, you need to go and do a trade. That was back then. So I did that, and clocking in and out just wasn't for me. You literally, I don't know if you know those days, you literally had to clock a card, and that noise drove me mad. So I didn't last that long, got qualified, and then, I ended up trying to make money out of golf. And a good friend of mine, his dad was a branch manager on the Bluff, and he showed me how easy, well, he told me, he didn't show me, how easy it was to make money out of real estate. And he promised me I could play all the golf I wanted and just work half a day a week, which was Sunday afternoons. As it turned out, back in those days, we had to do shows from 11 to 5. So we worked a lot harder and longer than today's generation. But and then the bug bit, and 36
Amazing.
Years later, here we are.
And you're still playing golf as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, but I pay for myself now. I'm not sponsored anymore. No, it's all
awesome.
Good. Yeah.
And I know, Chad, I'm also obviously part of the family business. So for you, would you say it just came naturally to follow in your father's footsteps, or was there also something drawing you to real estate?
I'd always felt like I was going to head in that direction for sure. She's out of school. He was like, get a job or study. So naturally, I didn't want to work. So I started studying, wasted his money.
Okay,
And then, I went off for a bit of experience. I'm also quite an avid golfer. So I worked at the Golfers Club for about 18 months. But I'd been around it forever. I mean, like he said, he's had an office since 1990. I was born in 1990. So I was always around for the Friday afternoon pizzas. And so, it came quite naturally.
Yeah. The funny thing is, half my staff, literally 3/4 of my staff, remember him in nappies running around our office.
That's so special.
True story.
That's
it took a while
awesome.
to gain a bit of respect after that, but
I know the feeling for different
there.
reasons. And did you guys always see yourself building something this big, or did it just grow over time?
Yeah, for me, as I say, I ended up in default getting into the business, but I was also still young, 28, when I had an opportunity to buy into something. And thankfully, I had a bit of training also in the insurance industry. So I was doing both for a while. And then I could see there was a good firm, or had a good name, and then the guy wasn't running it too well, and got involved. Lucky enough, I just happened to see an opportunity. And then it just took off from there, and could tell the guys weren't getting the training and that, which the insurance industry does give you really good grounding and good training, and carried that through to the industry. And within probably 4 or 5 months, that particular firm turned around nicely and did well. And hence, that's when I found out partnerships aren't so easy, because when the guys were battling, it was all fun, and then suddenly we were doing well. And then, so I ended up going on my own. And funny enough, bought that business back in 18 months or 2 years.
Wow.
And then exponentially it just went from there.
That's amazing. And for Chad, what would you say, what was the turning point when you realized for you in your career, it's not just a job, it's actually something that's a little bit bigger than that?
Happened about 18 months ago when you had a latte.
The seriousness of it, yes, definitely 18 months ago. But I mean, again, I was 21 when I got in. So, you make a lot of mistakes when you're 21, and you've grown up in the area. All your friends are in the area. You do all your jawling, your football, all that stuff in the area. You make a lot of mistakes, especially after hours at the pub. But as you sort of progress with it, and I think I was probably about 26, 27, and a couple of my mates and I, we started like a gentleman's club, like where we try and meet and network and do all of that in various industries, but all based in that southern basin of Durban. And from there, I would say I started describing it as a lifestyle, because in that time, even now, you're never off, you're never working, you always in real estate, no matter what you do. So but recently I'd say it's really ticked over now, and I have to focus on the future. Whereas if I did a sale, I was off to Mauritius, and
sometimes he even sold one of our specs to go to Maldives or buy a car, so he didn't have to have an installment. Here's a property, my boy. Have a look. And 18 months later, he took his 600 and went to Maldives.
So many. I also paid for a wedding in between. So there's lots of stuff that I'm proud of, but I'd say now I wish I had all those properties still, for sure, because now it's a lot more future focused.
But then it's also a lot more rewarding. It's a very rewarding industry.
The appreciation for it now, tenfold compared to earlier. Now that I can have a slow morning with my boy, get him ready, sorted, mom can sleep in. If I have to shoot out and do something, I have that freedom available to me. So the appreciation for the job and for it's just tenfold.
Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about the reality behind the success, because you guys are obviously our top performing franchise nationally, and you've been consistently doing that over the years. But that success also hasn't come easy. What were some of the toughest moments, would you say, in the early days that people don't always see?
I've been through a lot, and some cycles. Phew. It's funny enough, we were looking at it the other day. It's almost exactly a 10-year cycle. 98 was a hell of a time.
I didn't get any Christmas presents.
Santa died that year. A true story. I can remember going around a shopping center and everything was droning, and I'm like, how the heck am I going to pay bills this month? I sold the house on Christmas Day. I worked on New Year's Day. You just got stuck in 98, 08, 2008, 2018. COVID was the different one. But it's in those days, the early days, cash flow, and like you were never more than a few months away from bankruptcy, basically, because you had nothing behind you.
So was there ever a point that you questioned, like, if this is actually going to work, should I just quit?
On the way up here in the car. Every day.
I think there's and I think that's where we're quite good together, is there's always doubts, always. So as long as you've got someone who you can bounce it off and find the positive, and instead of focus on the what if not, and focus on the what if. So, I think that's where we work quite well together.
And what would you say, what set you guys apart? I mean, you don't become number one Acres franchise year after year after year just by accident.
Yeah, it was a shift in focus where basically became seller orientated, And that's the one thing I say to my guys, and that's that's the thing that we drive home, is look after the contracted people. You know, you don't, at one stage, can you remember they brought out buyer's mandates? And that didn't last long. We tried it, it just didn't happen. But the age-old thing, whoever controls the stock, I know it's an old saying, but
it works.
It's so true. And at the end of the day, if you're not stocking your shelves, why should anyone come and shop with you? So that's always been our drive and focus. And we've actually done and made some really good presentations around that. And every one of my guys gets taught and trained that. And that's where the money is. Because, and you were asking about relationships and that too. And that's what it's about. Form the relationship with the seller who's contracted with you, and everything else falls into place.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you believe you do differently or have done differently that it's allowed you to dominate the market in Bluff? So, I mean, you've got a very big market share there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of answered that in there.
No, that's fine.
Was seller focused, good presentations, and having the relationship with the seller.
I think maybe what sets us apart as well, and where we may be fortunate, is I think a little bit of his old school, a little bit of my new school, staying on trend, using his experience to stay on trend. That's how I like to look at it, is he's done this forever. It would be absolutely stupid of me not to lean on him constantly for advice and guidance. But at the same time, I have to have my eyes open to what the trends are and what's required now to be, right at the top of the game. So, and I think when we bounce that off each other, I mean, we butt heads all the time, where it's like, no, it should be like this. I'm saying, but this is
you're
where,
wrong quite a bit.
but this is where we're heading.
Especially
this is
with
what
social
guys
media.
are doing. This is what we should be.
Chad, what is Facebook going to get us? Measure that for me. How many? And it's like, normally it's, Bali, you don't know what's happening. Just leave that to me. So,
I love it. I love it. But you're bringing the best of both worlds, and I think it's special. It's really, really special. I mean, Jono and I still get advice from Pat. He's like a walking dictionary of real estate. And we wouldn't have been where we are today if we didn't have that person like you've got, your dad to lean on. And I think it's a power couple in a different form. And I also want to ask you. A power couple. How much of your success do you think comes down to relationships versus just like chasing the deal? Because, it's a competitive industry, but relationships are important. Your son is not just a number.
All of it.
It's actually one of the reasons why Chad's done so well and doing so well is exactly that. So for the most part, the guys come and go with clients. But when you seller focused, you're getting that relationship directly. And also there's a contractual relationship. It's, when I say seller focused, I'm talking specifically mandated, sole mandated stuff. And that's where his gift is. He's done so many presentations with me in the beginning that he just knows all the answers now and how to guide people through and make the right decisions.
And I want to know, like, how important your local reputation and presence has been part of, like, building the success that you have today.
Yeah, big time. Especially like with social media growing now to what it is, it's almost everything to me. So like I was saying, when you're 21, 22, 23 and you're local, all your mates are there and you make those mistakes, you learn a lot faster than some of my mates who are still doing it. But it's for me, it's everything. That's how I get my business, through referrals, through social media. And like I say, been embedded in the community for my whole life. Taryn's had her nail salon there for 10 years. So through that network alone, it's like a lot of business finds its way to me. So it's
also the quality. So I don't know if you've seen, he does good stuff with the social media.
Very good stuff.
And like what happens is that the sellers that are more, what's the word I'm looking for, got higher prices, might be the right word. So people that have got more upmarket properties, they look at his stuff and they go, hey man, if I'm selling, I'd like you to come and have a look and see. And that's how he's been getting his good stock. And his success rates on the mandates are like in the upper 90s.
Yeah.
So literally, you'll go in, he'll analyze it, and if he feels he can't get the job done, or the seller is just not prepared to work with us or take the advice, we'll walk. And that's made a big difference.
Yeah, and like I learned from them, I mean, there's definitely, what do they say, many ways to skin a cat. So it's a bit of both goes a long way, I think. Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because you can do all the posts you like, but if nothing's coming from it, you gotta get stuck in, and you gotta unfortunately pick up that phone and be that guy.
That brings me to wanting to ask you guys, what is it that you look for when an agent wants to join your business?
For us, really, at the end of the day, aside the basics, everyone's got to have the basics. You know what I mean? You've got to have that drive and personal ambition and those things. But it's such a hard industry, especially at the moment, that if you're not connected, if you haven't got a good social, centers of influence and those kind of things embedded in the community, it's so difficult. So that's our primary thing. Obviously, you've got to fit the role right from the start. But if you've got a good center of influence in the community, then you can. I always say to the new guys, we can kind of fix anything, because there's ways of fixing everything and anything. There's training and tools, but we can't fix inactivity, and we can't just go out there and hand you a wad of clients. It just doesn't happen. So that's really our focus. Chad brought in two people recently, and the same story. Haven't been in real estate, but they well connected and on a whole lot of social media.
Groups, like all the groups
and the
community projects.
Yeah, correct. And they're on the security side and doing the neighborhood watch stuff, and so that
well known
that's
in those
huge,
circles.
And it works
bonus.
because you can tap into their network. It takes a lot of discipline, structure, daily execution. So at this level, we talk about consistency. That is everything. What does a high performance day look like for you now?
Well, he was telling you earlier that the patience levels, as I've got older, that's why I surf every morning. I think if I didn't surf every morning and spend some time in the ocean, I'd slap people. So that's for me, is just making sure you stay fit and healthy, because then you can handle things a lot better.
What would you say are the non-negotiables in your business for you to stay number one?
Yes, got to know where the target is, and you've got to keep measuring, Go results versus targets. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's every day's a new day, and just grind it out. And I know it's old cliches, but like, if you can just give your best every day.
Yeah.
Every day, give the best, and you're never going to keep everyone happy all the time. But if you're keeping most of the people happy most of the time, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And that's it. Consistency, just doing the basics, because that's what a lot of it comes down to, is that it's not that the good agents know a whole lot more than the average agents do. It's just that they do the stuff the other agents don't want to do, which is a lot of that hard stuff,
Cold calling, birthdays, community
and
projects.
And putting time in.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you're not doing a good 8, 10-hour, 12-hour day when you really need to, you're going to fall behind.
And then for anybody that would like to get into this industry, either as an agent or whatever, what would your advice be to them?
Keep studying.
No.
Just, I think it's much like anything with our job. It's managing your expectations. So you got to understand, for the first year, you're probably not going to see money in your bank. In all likelihood, no matter how hard you work, in all likelihood, you're not going to see money in your bank. So just understand that
real
money.
Real money.
Yeah. I'm saying, but you got to stick it out, and you got to build your relationships and do all the grunt work, because it's 6-7 years of grunt work before anything starts coming back to you, like where the work finds you. And once you get to that, keep your foot on the pedal. Because once that work starts coming to you, you go, oh, this is the best. I'm living the dream. I don't have to do this anymore. And 6 months later, you're right back where you started. So, yeah, I think more than anything, just manage your expectation. Understand that even though you're working and doing the job, that first year is school fees. You have to pay your school fees. And I think for somebody who's going around looking at what's the most money they could get out of this industry, also don't focus so much on your splits. There's so many agencies out there that will offer you a 70-30 split in your favor, whereas we've always operated on a 50-50. But look at what you're going to get for your 7 or for the 30 that you're paying, or look at what you're going to get for the 50 that you're paying. So that's the one serious piece of advice for anyone new getting in. Don't worry about what split you're going to get. Look at the management system, look at the training that will be in place, and take it from there. Because for your first year, 50% of nothing's nothing anyway.
Yeah, true.
So get stuck in and pay your school fees.
Are you seeing like a bit of or projecting a bit of an upwards trajectory in KZN with property specifically, would you say?
We've seen the news about the South Coast, and obviously the North Coast is always booming. We did until this whole war happened, and prices of everything go down. Because for the most part, our market is just your average Joe. It's guy wants a roof over his head, and so before the war and all that stuff, when everything was still cheaper, it affects our market a lot more as the prices go up.
Yeah.
And people start to think like, okay, let's just get through this, and whereas I don't know.
That's why I say we're bucking the trend at the moment. The only thing I can think of is, and that's been our strategy over the last few years, was looking how to get back that market share. Because the volumes are down, the only way you can up your bottom line is by taking back some market share. And we did a few things differently from about 18 months already. A couple of little strategic things that we changed, and we have seen that growth come back slowly.
Because people will always have to buy and sell houses.
100%.
No matter the circumstances or where the economy is. It sometimes will be more challenging, other times not so much. And that will always be there. That's also when, I also am very much on the finance side, and I also some months go like, oh, I don't really know, like what are we going to do this month? But then I'm like, you know what? Just keep going at it, because there will always be someone that has to sell or buy a house. It's going to come. Exactly. Don't worry.
The universe will provide. If you stick it in and you're putting in the graft, there's no ways that the universe isn't going to reward you for it. For sure.
We've seen, over the time period now recently that, again, get back to basics. Get back to basics. Get the stock, put it on. It's going to take you a bit longer to move it for the most part, but just keep doing the basics.
And at the right price.
Always.
When
I say stock, I'm talking about stock that's priced right. But again, if it's mandated to us, if it's not priced right, we don't take it.
It's not worth your time to do
100%.
it.
Unfortunately, early in your career, you learn that the hard way. Somebody has to be blamed. I didn't know how to phrase it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Somebody had to be blamed at the end of the day, and normally it's the agent. So you learn early on. If the job's not doable and the motivation's not there, you're not doing your reputation any good.
Awesome. Well, this has been so much fun. I think we can sit and talk for hours. So I would really love to have you guys back again. Just before we close, if anybody wants to reach out to you, either to possibly join or to sell, what would be the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I think we'll pop our emails up on the socials, and
so we'll also put it in the comment box.
If it's someone my generation, they can come and knock on the door. But if it's someone his, then they'll
drop
do
your
it
DM.
via
I think we'll just
awesome.
Put all the links to our social media sites on.
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll do it again soon.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, man.